Hey there, welcome. Thanks for joining me. If this is your first time to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'd love for you to join us, and also click on that bell button for you to be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. So today we're going to be making some Easter glam decor that you can use basically all year round, or even for that special event, a wedding, quinceañera, as a centerpiece as well. What you're going to need is some bling wrap from Totally Dazzled, and I'm using the blush pink color of bling wrap, but they also have silver and gold. And you can get one of these smaller silver serving bowls from Dollar Tree in the party supply area. And this is a smaller size. Of course, you can use the larger one if you like. And what I did was add some hot glue to the bottom of my serving bowl and just started adding my bling wrap, gluing it onto all four sides of my bowl. And the way I did that was, again, glued the bottom first, and then I glued the sides, and now I'm gluing what is the top of my serving bowl with some hot glue, and then attaching the bling wrap that way. And that way it's nice and tight and secure on all four corners of all four sides. Now the way I started my second side of my bowl is basically I just added it to where I knew I needed it, and then left that extra bling wrap just folded upwards while I start gluing my bling wrap to my bowl. Again, adding some hot glue, and then I just made sure that it was where it needed to be, the bling wrap, and then I glued the bling wrap on one side. And now I'm going to start gluing all the other sides after I cut the bling wrap on that corner. And there you have it. And that way, when you start gluing everything, you won't use or waste a lot of the bling wrap. And of course, you can measure out each side and then individually cut the bling wrap and glue it on that way as well. This is just the way I did it. So after I glued that corner, I went ahead and removed that extra bling wrap, and then just continued doing that to all four sides of my bowl. Adding the glue, and then to all four sides of my serving bowl, and then added the bling wrap to that. Making sure you pull on that bling wrap to make it nice and tight and flush to your bowl. Once you're done with all four of your sides of your bowl, just go ahead and make sure everything is all nice and even, and cut any of that extra bling wrap away from your bowl. And then what I did to give it more of that finished look was I cut strips of my bling wrap and glued it onto all of my four corners of my serving bowl, which is going to be turned into my stand. And I just cut the strips in two lines of the strip of my bling wrap. Just adding a little bit of glue onto all four corners, doing this one at a time, and then adding my strip on top of that. That way you won't see the seam of where you cut and attached both of your sides of your bling wrap. And this is optional, you don't have to do this. I just wanted to give it more of that finished look. So again, go ahead and do that to all of your four corners. And like I said, you can use the gold or the silver. This is silver bowl, so even if you add some silver bling wrap on top of that, it would even sparkle more, since it's all going to be the same color. But I wanted to add a little bit of that pink blush color, since I wanted to use this for spring and for Easter as well. So once you're done with that, go ahead and get the larger silver serving bowl, and make sure your smaller bowl is basically at an angle to where one of the 8 corners is at the middle of the side of your larger bowl. And you'll see what I mean, just like that. That way that corner isn't, all corners aren't together, I guess you could say. Then what I did was just grabbed a small plastic plate, and you can use foam or you can even use a bowl or what have you, but this is what I had, and I'm just recycling one that I had already spray painted gold, which you're not going to see, so it didn't bother me. And I glued it onto my larger serving bowl inside. And this is going to be where I'm going to actually set my nest at. The way I made my nest, now there's so many different ways you can make a nest. And basically you could just add moss onto your little plate and make it to where it looks like a nest. But the way I did mine was I got some raffia, wrapped it around to the size that I wanted my nest. Then I grabbed another piece of raffia and then I wrapped it around where I attached my circle and my raffia to, and I tied it into a knot just to attach it. You can even add glue there and you won't have to wrap some raffia around. So now I got some deer moss and some plant filler moss, and I just kind of pulled it apart, mixed it together. And with my hands, I tried to shape my line for a nest. And just by little sections, I grabbed some hot glue and glued it onto my raffia. Now, I'm sure there's all kinds of ways to make a nest. This is just the way I saw and felt it was the easiest way for me to do. So once I added little sections of my moss onto my raffia, I just grabbed it with my hands and just kind of played with it and worked it and made sure that it had enough moss that, you know, I was happy with, and just made it look more put together by squeezing it in between both of my hands. Once I was done with that, I went ahead and grabbed some more of the both mosses and then put it onto my little plate, and then added my raffia around there, and that's how I made my nest. So now I set that aside, and I grabbed one of these battery operated candles, grabbed some more of my bling wrap, and just cut out a section of the bling wrap wide enough to where I was happy to add onto my candle. Now you can add the bling wrap to your entire candle, or you can just do it to the bottom or the top of your candle. Now I'm going to decorate my candle with some pins and brooches from Totally Dazzled, and also this napkin ring holder. And what I did was I opened up the napkin ring holder by just simply cleaning it, and then I cut little squares from that, and I'm going to add the little squares to my candle on top of my bling wrap. And all I did was add some hot glue to the back of the little square, glued it to the center of my bling wrap, and then I decided to add one of the pins or the brooches from Totally Dazzled, and I'm grabbing one with some pearls. This is more kind of like a star shape with little crystals and pearls on it. I glued that right to the side of my little square, and then I glued another little square on the opposite side of my brooch. Now what I did was put it in the center where my nest is at, and I grabbed some feathers, and I'm gluing some feathers around my nest and just placing them randomly around. And these feathers I got from a boa from Dollar Tree, but you can grab a bag of feathers from Walmart or Michael's, Hobby Lobby. You can get them all over the place. So just grab some feathers. And now I cut some more of those pieces off of my napkin ring holder, and I'm gluing them where my feathers are at as well. Because I want this to be a glam nest, this is the way I did it. Now you can add as much glam or sparkle as you like, or as little. So after I did that, I went ahead and grabbed some pliers and removed the backing of my pins. And now I'm going to glue one of my brooches onto the top of silver bowl where my nest is at. And for this part, I did use some E6000. I wanted to make sure that it stayed in place and it wouldn't fall off. So I grabbed my E6000 and added it to different areas of my brooch. Then I added a little bit of hot glue to make sure it stays in place and secure to allow my E6000 to dry. And I just placed it on the center, what's going to be the front of my centerpiece. And now I grabbed some of these feathers, brooches, and I had a silver one and also the blush pink color feathers. So I thought those would look really pretty if I added them onto my nest as well. And I just placed those in there. I didn't add glue with those. Now I had some of these blush pink beads or vase fillers that I purchased. I believe at Michael's, but you can get them anywhere. And I'll leave a link of something similar to this for my Amazon shop down below as well if you want to order them that way. And all I did was add these little fillers all around. And like I said, you can add as much or as little as you like to your nest. Set that aside. Now I'm going to make my smaller nest. And the way I did this one is basically I used some of this green grass. It's like I guess it's the Easter egg or the Easter basket filler, but I thought it looked really realistic as grass. So what I did was squeeze it in my hands and kind of form a line the same way I did my moss. I grabbed some more of my raffia. And then what I did was I glued all of this around my little plastic bowl just to give it more of that round shape if you don't feel comfortable doing it with just your hands and kind of freehanding that little nest. Then I just tore apart my raffia and grabbed a few strands and wrapped it around my greenery to form that nest as well. And I just wanted to show you that, you can do it a different way. You don't have to just kind of wrap it around by yourself. You can use something to give it more of that round shape for your nest. And there you have it. And now what you can do is just continue adding some more greenery and raffia by wrapping it around and making the bottom part of your nest. So what I decided to do after that, and I allowed all the glue to dry, I grabbed my glam wrap and then I cut individual strips of that and glued it randomly around my nest as if a bird grabbed it and picked it up and wrapped it around their nest as well. So just cut your bling wrap into little strips. And you can cut them as thick or as thin as you like. I just cut them into individual strips. Added a little bit of hot glue to the end of my strip. And then I just continue adding hot glue every so often and just gluing it randomly around my nest. I thought this would be so adorable to use, especially if you love bling and you love that more glamorous look for your home. This is beautiful. And I'm not much of a glam per se sparkle type of person for my home decor. Now my clothes, I can wear sparkle all day long, but for some reason for my home decor, I just think it's a lot harder to clean, so I don't use it a lot in my home decor. But I love the way this turned out, and I have it in my bathroom, which I decorated all glammed out for Easter. Now this is another napkin ring holder that you can get at Totally Dazzled as well, and it has pearls. So what I did was I added some glue to the end of my pearl, and I just held it in place until it dried. Then I cut it out where it was knotted, and it ended up being a strand of pearls. And it's a perfect size to wrap around your nest. So I did the same thing, just wrapped it around randomly. Now each one of these napkin holders comes with 3 strands. So I did the same thing to 2 of the strands, as you can see here. Now my 3rd strand, I basically just cut it off and individually used the pearls that way, because I wanted to add pearls just in random spots of my nest. So how I did that was just grab an individual pearl and added some glue and just kind of placed them anywhere in my nest and allowed it to dry. And I just wanted them to fall kind of like a natural look, but to have those showing and seeping through. Now here's another feather that I cut in smaller pieces and then just started gluing feathers into my nest as well. And I made 2 of these similar nests, not exactly the same, but basically the same concept. So go ahead and set those aside and allow them to dry. So while they're drying, I went ahead and grabbed some more bling wrap and cut in individual strips. And I also am going to use some Easter eggs. These are the foam small Easter eggs that you can get at Dollar Tree in a bag, I believe of 6 or 12. But once you cut all your bling wrap in individual strips, go ahead and grab one of your Easter eggs and start adding some hot glue to the top of your Easter egg, and then start wrapping your bling wrap around your Easter egg. Now you can make your Easter eggs any style. You can leave them as is, paint them, or even add more glitter to them if you like, or do them the way I am, which is one, I'm going to add some bling wrap, and then for the next 2 eggs, I'm going to do them just slightly different, but also giving them what I call that glam look. When you add your bling wrap, just add a little bit of hot glue and then just continue wrapping that bling wrap around. Now for the top of my Easter egg, since I couldn't wrap that bling wrap around there, what I did was just cut a small square out of the same supplies and glued it onto the top of my Easter egg to give it that finished look. So that's 1 egg. My second Easter egg, what I did was I had this strip of pearl stickers that you can get at Dollar Tree in the supplies, like the stationery area. And what I did was just glue it onto one of my Easter eggs in small strips. Now, sometimes the adhesive on these pearl stickers isn't very good. So if you get one that isn't very good, go ahead and add some hot glue or E6000 to your Easter egg, and then just continue to add your pearls on the way I am, the same way, in small little strips. But this one that I had purchased, this strip of pearls, the adhesive was really good on it, so I was happy and satisfied with just adding the pearls onto the Easter egg as is. So the third and final Easter egg that I'm making, I'm going to use another one of these napkin holders, and I'm going to cut it open and basically glue strips of this bling onto my Easter egg using some hot glue. But if you don't feel comfortable, feel free to use some permanent glue. And just start gluing strips of this bling onto my Easter egg. Now you can cover up the entire Easter egg with this napkin ring, but if you're going to need 2 of them. For this one, I just wanted to use 1. So the way I did it was I made 3 individual strips onto my Easter egg, which I love because that way some of that Easter color of the Easter egg comes through. Here I am going to add my third and final strip onto the center of my Easter egg. And there you have it, 3 blinged out Easter eggs. Which one's your favorite? Mine is the sequence one. So once you're done with those, go ahead and grab any kind of vase that you like. I got this long cylinder clear glass vase from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use one of the blinged out napkin ring holders. And what I did was basically add it onto my vase where I wanted it to be and where I figured it out where I wanted it to, the ring, napkin ring to be placed onto my vase. I added some E6000 and a little bit of hot glue to make sure it stayed in place and allowed that E6000 to dry. I didn't want to do too much to my vase because what I want to stand out is my Easter egg nest. So what I did next was all those extra little pearls that I had, I inserted them into my vase, and I also added 2 of my feathers into my vase. Now you can add as many or as little as you like into your vase of feathers or whatever color. I'm going to use these afterwards in my makeup area. So I wanted to make sure that I left it more of a neutral white color. That way it would go with any style that I add onto that area. Next, what I did was I went ahead and just looked at all the little brooches and figured out if I wanted to add one onto my vase or not, which I decided not to. So what I did was I added some E6000 and hot glue to the top of my rim of my vase. And then I had purchased these cup saucers at a local thrift store. So I have 6 of them, and I decided to go ahead and use them as a candle holder topper. So I just added that onto the top of my vase. Now once Easter's over, this will be a beautiful candle holder. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and add my glammed out Easter egg nest. Now what I'm doing right now is basically just kind of turning my Easter egg nest and just figuring out where or what side of my nest I want to be the front of my nest. Once I figure that out, now I'm going to start adding some more glam, which I'm going to add some of these pearl brooches that have pearls and sequins onto my nest. Now they have all kinds of brooches, like I said before, but I decided to use the pearl ones because the Easter nest has pearls into them as well. So that's why I decided to use these. And just add as many or as little as you like onto your nest. And there you have a beautiful glammed out nest. So once you're done with your nest, go ahead and add your little Easter eggs or a bird. You can add whatever you like on the top. Even add a small glass candle holder and then add a small candle in there, a tea light candle. So this is the way my larger candle holder looks. How beautiful would this look in any home decor or as a centerpiece for a wedding or even a quinceañera? I went ahead and added a bird to give it more of that finished look. Just look at all that glam. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite, the larger candle holder or the 2 taller candle stand holders. And here is my glammed Easter nest, and they're on top of my candle holders. And this is the way it looks all together as a set. I absolutely love the way it looks as a set. And how adorable is that glammed Easter nest? And I'll make sure to leave the link of Totally Dazzled down below so you can purchase all the supplies I used for this tutorial today. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.